Good evening. How are we doing today? I hope you're doing well and that you had a great Thanksgiving. Okay, let's just try to find us. When you get here, please post that you're here so I know who's joining me. Okay, we will be making a cute little box. This is just a sample of it. And it's just good for like little candies. It's too small for a gift card, but you could probably even put a little bit of cash in it. So that is what we're going to make tonight. You will need a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper. And then there will be specific score lines. So we will be scoring that together in a moment. You will need 2 pieces of pattern paper, 1 5/8 by 2 1/8, a corner rounder, and a thumb notch punch. And then some type of little tag to use as well. Okay, so let me find my directions because that is right where I have the score lines. Yep, right there. And it is actually good for like a peppermint patty, those little Hershey nuggets, things like that. Alrighty. Oh, somebody's on with me. Yay. All right, so the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece is what we're going to be using. Now, before I start, I am going to do just a little bit of random stamping on this, just so that I have a slight pattern to it. And I am going to be using Joyful Tidings, and it's just this image here is what I will be using. Hi, Mary Lynn. Hi, Patty. Glad that you're with me tonight. So I am using Mink paper, and I'm going to use Mink ink. So I'm just going to stamp off. I just want to see. Yep, that's exactly what I want. So I'm just going to random stamp, and it's almost like it's tone on tone. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I didn't want it to distract from the pattern paper that I have chosen. And I'm just rotating and filling in. And then we will do our scoring together. I certainly hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. We went out to my cousin's house in Brighton. His turkey this year was superb. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to leave it right at that. I'm not adding any more. Alrighty, let's get ready to score now. So I am going to grab my scoring blades and my trimmer because my trimmer has my scoring blades on it. So I'm going to actually also raise the camera so that you are able to see what I'm doing. Okie dokie. So I am going to put my paper in the long way, okay? So my very first score line will be 1/2 inch. Now I am going to utilize the right-hand side of my trimmer to score my 1/2 inch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that so that now I can move this to 2 1/4 3/4 inches, which is right there. And I'm going to score. Then I'm going to go to 3. And then I'm going to go to 4 3/4, which is right there. So it was a 1/2, 2 1/4, 3, and 4 3/4. Now we're going to turn it where you're having the long going down. And our first score line will be 3/4. So again, I'm going to start on the right hand side so that I know I'm straight. So 3/4 or 3/4. Now I'm going to turn it around so that I can get to the 3-inch line. And now the 3 3/4, which is right there. Key dookie. So now we have our cute little box all scored. Now what we need to do is we need to cut away some parts of this. So in order to make it easier for you to see, I'm just going to crease mine just a little bit. And I'm going to turn it so that I have only one of the score lines down here at the bottom. And then I would have the skinny, that 1/2 inch over here to the right, just so that you know right where I am. And I'm just doing a little bend so that you're able to see. So the first thing I need to do is I want to cut up with this 1/2 inch over here to my right. So I'm going to cut up to the first score line and stop. Next, I'm going to cut the next score line up and stop. So I've just created these little bends. So you're going to do that on all of these score lines at this bottom piece, at this little bottom juncture. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This very last one on the left hand side, we are actually going to cut it completely off. So this is what we have so far. This far left is cut off, and then we have gotten these score lines sliced. Okay, now we're going to work on this top portion because there are certain parts that we need and not need. So I'm going to rotate this completely around because it's just easier to operate. So I have that little 1/2 inch over here on my left hand side. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to start on this far left. I'm going to cut all up to the first score line and continue up to that second score line. So now I have a piece that looks like this. This part has 2 score lines. That tiny little corner, we're clipping that off. So we have one bend. Okay. Now what we want to do is we're going to cut up on the second score line all the way up and then stop. So we have 1 and 2. Now I'm going to go right here in this middle and I'm going to cut up again to that second. But this, sorry, I have the hiccups now. This bottom piece is the one that we're going to cut off. So it will match our first. Okay, so we have the small one, a double one, and a small one. Now we have this whole section this whole section, we're going to cut it off. Just like that. So this is that 1/2 inch over here. So I'm going to leave it like this for a second so that you can take a look at it to make sure that you have what I have. So we're going to have this 3/4 inch here, a larger section here, a middle panel that will now have our 2 little pieces that will fold down. And then this is that part that's going to actually fold everything in for us. Okay? So what I want to do is we need to do our little thumb notch next. And then I'll show you right where we're going to adhere. Okay, so I'm going to take my thumb notch. Now, if you don't have a thumb notch punch, what you could do is just either take a very small circle or small oval die, and you're going to just cut out a little here. So this is that piece that we cut off. And I'm just going to put my punch. I'm going to try to center it the best that I can. And I'm going to punch like so. Okay. Now this longer piece, you see how it's the longest? We want to corner round each of these 2 parts because that's that part that's going to tuck in for us. So I need to fold that down and fold that down so I can actually get my paper in. That's corner rounded, and now I'm going to do the other edge. And it's very challenging to see. Oops, still have a piece of paper in there blocking it. But this will be that piece that's going to help us create the opening for our box. Okay, so now let me lay it back out so that you can see what we have. This was our thumb notched part, and then we had our corner rounded at the very end. Okay. Next, what we want to do is we want to take just a little bit off of 2 of these flaps. And I just need a little bit off. So I'm just going to come in with my scissors, and I maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and I'm just going to go on a diagonal up to that middle, this first bottom score line. And I'm going to do the same thing on this edge of the panel. So when we go to close it, it's going to fold better for us. And I'm going to do the same thing to this outer one. And I'm just doing a tiny little section, that's all. Nothing major. Because if you go too deep, then you will see it. Okay, and I'm trying to do this far edge here too. There we go, just a little bit. All right, now we need to do our adhesive. So that 1/2 inch at this far right side is right where we're going to put our adhesive. And I am going to use Stampin' Seal for mine. Perfect. And I'm just looking to see where our other and then we're gonna fold this part in. So I'm going to hold that piece down, and I'm going to bring, so this is that 1/2 inch. I'm back having it on my left hand side, and I'm going to take this far right corner, and I'm going to overlap those 2 sections together. And I'm going to press with my fingers, just like this. Okay, so that's going to give me that stability now for here. This piece and this piece will come in. That's going to fold over. Now we need to put a little bit of adhesive right there. I just lost mine. There it is. Now, in order to really get it in there good, I'm going to use the butt side of my bone folder. And I'm just going to press it like so. And now I can bring my top two pieces down and then this cute little fold. So now it's all closed up. Now we're ready for our decorating. So let's get our pattern paper. And I am using the little bit more of that Nests of Winter. So this is the piece that is thumb notched. And I think I need it to be a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Excellent. All right, so I'm, oh, maybe I want this side. No, I like that peachy color. All right. You know exactly what I was doing. I was looking for my adhesive again. I know you're thinking, okay, you stamped it, but you really don't see it. You do see it, like the top, my sides, the bottom. And I'm okay with not seeing it on the front or the back. It's okay. So maybe you're like, oh, I like how it's all stamped and I'd rather be able to see that. You can totally do that. I did it more so that my top and my sides and the bottom had a little bit of a pattern. So now I'm going to put this piece onto my back side. And I was going to get some of the peppermint patties, but Plum forgot to do that. Okay. And I did see that it is directional, but I am able to open up my top lid. The top of my lid still opens nicely. All right, now let's get ready to stamp. Do a little bit of stamping right there. So this piece I was thinking might go maybe right there, but I need to put something on it. Let's see if there was anything on here. We had peace, hope, and joy. That would fit. Noel would fit. I don't think this will. Let's just see. Oh, it does. Tidings of joy this Christmas season. But I did pull another stamp set. I pulled the current paper pumpkin. And it's just to and from. So I am thinking that is what I want. And that is what I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp my to and my from. And I think we should probably do it in a little bolder of a color than the mink. So let's see. Maybe something that has this similar color that would be like on the top of the bird's head, which I'm not sure what color that is. It might be Cajun Craze, but that's dark. So I'm looking, let's see, what do I have? Maybe if I have Sorbet. Sorbet might be a good one. And I do have Sorbet. Okay, what I think I'll do is I'm going to stamp it on the back first, just so I can see if I like that. Oh, and I definitely do. Look at how pretty that would look on here. Okay, so I definitely want to do the to and the from in Sorbet. Like that. And then the other thing I was thinking was maybe having a bit of ribbon so that I could maybe tie this together so it wouldn't fall out. Nothing would fall out, I guess. So in order to do that, I don't want to glue my to and from down quite yet. It's hard to tie bows on mine. Oh, I had it. Just almost had it. There we go. And then I think what I'll do, let me grab my scissors that I use for ribbon. There we go. Let's give it a pretty edge on this side. Great. And our to and from will go here, but I am going to use foam tape just because I want it to go over the ribbon. And then that way, once the box is untied, the ribbon's not going to completely fall off. So just like that. And then using a thin marker, we would write who it's to. So for example, I'm going to put Mom, and then I would put Love Holly on it. And that is our little treat box for tonight. So now I can easily untie my box. Yes, it's going to be loosey-goosey from the bottom, but it's held here so that now I can put my little treats inside or whatever I'm putting. And then I can come back and re-tie it. And you don't have to tie it in a bow. You could actually tie it in a little bit of a knot. This time I did it in a knot. And I can let those dangle like that. And this is something I don't think I would put any gems or anything on it just because it's so tiny. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed tonight's cute little project. Now, next week will be our first Sunday of December. I should be online on time, but my mom will be hosting my birthday party, so I don't know what time. we will be getting home, but I will keep you posted on that. And we will actually be doing a scrapbook page. Okay, and I will be doing a Christmas scrapbook page. I just have to figure out which pictures I am putting on it. So watch for Wednesday's post to come out with the dimensions. So yes, we will be doing a scrapbook page on Sunday. The following 3 Sundays, we will be doing a Christmas card each of the rest of the weeks for the month of December. The second Sunday will be a gift card holder. The third Sunday will be a fancy card. And then the fourth Sunday will be a very simple card for those last minute people that are still sending out their cards, which I haven't even started. I need to sit down and start writing mine out. But mine are all made. Just need to send them out. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's project. Again, please post what you have created so that others can see. And as usual, this video will be uploaded over to YouTube in the next few days, probably not tonight. And if you could please go over there, like the post, subscribe to the channel, maybe even leave a comment, because all of that builds up my little YouTube channel, and I would really appreciate it. So have a super duper evening, and I will talk to you all real soon. Good night.